are back at Rye House, about to do a quick lap on the brand new layout with the new corner. We're going to do one lap fast, then we're going to go through corner by corner, show you where the braking markers, turning markers are, that kind of thing. I'm not claiming to be an absolute expert, I'm pretty quick around here, and this was my very first race on the new layout. So I was still working out this new corner, which is coming up right now. So usually the track used to go off to the left here, now it goes over to the right. You get this little double apex hairpin, which is extremely fun to drive, and then we rejoin the circuit with the traditional layout. This was actually the fast lap of the race, despite having to just slightly think about back marker off this corner. It was a really fun race. Nicholas Hamilton, of all people, was involved in it. And despite starting on pole, I had a bit of an incident with the back marker where I got spun out. So I was down at fourth in this point in the race. So before we even start the quick lap, we want to make sure we set it up correctly. So on the way into the crucial last corner, we've got to carry as much speed as possible. And to do that, we just want to look out for the end of the curbing on the left here. We want to be as far on the left-hand side as we can possibly be, lift off and turn in and head towards the apex. And as soon as you can see it, you just want to floor it again. See the apex, get on the gas. You can run super wide on this corner. Track limits are not enforced, and you just want to be carrying speed, so get yourself back on the throttle. Carrying speed is going to send you wide on this corner, and you're going to be going somewhere towards this speed bump. Now, there's two ways to approach this. Either you want to stay to the right of the speed bump and not go over it at all, or you want to point your wheels so that your left and right wheels go either side of it and the speed bump just goes underneath you, because it really will unsettle the car if just one wheel. So we stay on the left here, heading down the main straight towards Stadium Corner, and when we get here, all I want you to pay attention to is just how little steering input is necessary. We're going to stay absolutely full throttle through the first part of the corner as we connect with the first apex, and we don't want the tyres to be squealing. We don't want to be doing any heavy movements on the steering wheel. We're trying to minimise the distance travelled and be as absolutely smooth as possible. So we want to connect over the curb with Apex 1 here, and then we're going to allow ourselves to run out wide. And about this point, we want to just be very slightly lifting off the gas, and it's the one point where we turn in a little bit harder. The tyres may squeal a little bit, but it's not going to be too much, and it's just the tiniest of lifts, get pointing at that apex and really floor it. So just go completely flat through here and head up towards Hairpin 1. Now, the thing about Hairpin 1 is on the exit, you can't use all the track because you've got to set up Hairpin 2. So on the entry, we want to really care about using as much track as possible available to us. Now, there's the white line here, but that is not the edge of the track. The tarmac goes past it. So really pay attention to that and get your right wheels all the way over all the tarmac that you've got available to you. And then turn the car in, and you want to be paying attention to this little bit of curbing over the centre of the corner. Now, I don't actually pull it off on this lap, but the fastest way to possibly take this corner is to hook your front wheels over this little bit of curb, and it's going to help rotate the car and let you keep your speed as high as possible while getting the corner done. And Hairpin 2 is really about using the full width of the track, both on entry and on exit. So we want to turn in, get to the apex, and as soon as we're pointing at this pit building here, it's time to get back on the throttle, and then we can just head out over this, over the white line, right towards the tyre barrier. Again, just carrying as much speed as you can, keeping it smooth as you can, and heading over towards the brand new corner. So for the new corner, we're going to start out on the left, we're going to turn in, and we're going to absolutely abuse the track limits once again. Now, there is quite a bump if you take as much of this curb as I'm taking, and the car's going to really unsettle, but you're going to keep it in an absolute straight line, thinking about the first apex and heading straight to it. You're going to accept the bump, and as soon as the car lands and settles, that's when you're going to just dab the brakes. Now, it's quite a firm dab, but it's also very short. I checked back on the footage. It only lasted for 3 frames that my foot was on the brake, but you get that braking done hard and fast, and then we come off the brakes and turn in and get immediately back on the throttle before we've even reached Apex 1. And we're just going to carry that speed over Apex 2, which we're again going to take lots and lots of curb, everything we can get away with, and run fairly wide on the exit, but not so wide that we can't get back over to the left-hand side. Now, this used to be a braking zone, but not anymore. We just want to turn in, get over. It was just, you know, a little bit of a lift to get into pylon, and then we head over to the corner where we started. So you lift off, you turn in, you hit the apex, and you get back on the throttle. And this time I did stay just to the left of the speed bump, which also works just fine. It's going over it that's the problem. So that was the detailed lap at slow speed. We're going to go back through, we're going to do it at full speed. So we stay over to the left hand side, we want to turn in as smooth as possible, barely moving the steering wheel, just having a tiny lift here, a little bit harder, get in, get on the throttle. This is absolutely flat, heading towards here. Remember to maximise your entry, try and hook it up over that little brick that I just missed. Don't go too wide here because you want to get over to the left very quick. Then as soon as we point at the building, straight on the throttle, every bit of width here. We're going to absolutely launch it over this bump on the brakes, in, back on the throttle, round. Now, it's just a lift through pylon, no longer braking zone, but we turn it in, get back going, and as we get to the last corner, we look out for the end of the curb, where we just have a tiny lift, hit this apex, run out as wide as we can, carry all the speed, and head towards the line for a pretty respectable 44.450. Get yourself down there, see if you can beat it. See you later.